So, how the heck do I got here? To begin the story, let's put into perspective my motivation behind attending Trump's rally on January 6th, 2021. I had experienced firsthand the fall into socialism of Venezuela and watched many other Latin American countries follow the steps of Cuba. In 2003, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez introduced currency controls. My wife and I prepared all necessary documents for individuals to acquire dollars from the Venezuelan government. Basically, our customers struggled to convert their cash and assets into dollars to bring them to the U.S. while watching Hugo Chavez and then Maduro expropriate their properties and businesses. We watched wealthy people become poor, fortunes destroyed, children looking for food in trash containers and dumpsters, and basically lives ruined because of socialism. Venezuelans had no way to defend themselves. Elections were rigged with electronic voting machines, corrupt judges, and in 2012, all guns were seized with a very strict gun control. So it was sticks and stones against tanks and guns, and if that was not enough, the government used the motorizados, which are basically trendy Aragua members in motorcycles terrorizing everyone who dared go out and protest. I could see the same pattern happening here in the U.S. I saw all the irregularities in the 2020 presidential election, the electronic voting machines, the massive mailing of ballots not properly approved by each state legislature, and poorly custody by many different agencies and mailing boxes, the irregularities in counting by the machines, double counting, mailing ballots appearing out of nowhere in the middle of the night. I watched the hearings by the Georgia and Michigan state legislature, all the testimonies of hundreds of witnesses. I saw all the cases dismissed on standing, which means a plaintiff must have a personal stake in the outcome without real evidence reviewed or discussed in a court of law. I encourage everyone to ask Meta AI about this. Meanwhile, the lack of interest of the Department of Justice, the General Attorney, and the complicit mainstream media dismissing, disinforming, and shadow banning any news regarding any discovery of election fraud, as well as all the censoring and banning on every social media. It was a sin to even have any curiosity or question anything about the election. The party of science will censure and smear anyone who dares to. Without curiosity and questioning, there will be no science. No hypothesis can be formulated to question anything. Only took one hearsay whistleblower to impeach a president, but thousands of whistleblowers with signed affidavits under penalty of perjury were totally dismissed, discredited, and their reputations shredded. Bottom line, I saw Trump, the man standing by himself in the arena, with his own party against him or on the run, his DOJ missing in action, and his vice president against him. So my real motivation was to show that man that he was not alone, and how much I have appreciated all the sacrifice and fight he has put in, and hoped he could bring enough people to show the world he is not alone, and this country has his back. Maybe this is too much BS, but it is very important to me to show the motivation in the support for Trump, and not all that conspiracy theory about an insurrection plot that the media and Democrats portray. Before heading to Trump's rally, we stopped at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Therefore, we were coming from the north side. When we got to the point that we were close enough and traffic was jammed, we just parked and started walking. As soon as we got to Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue, there was a group of people who, at the moment, I thought were Proud Boys, who told us, "Why would we go to the rally if the action is in the Capitol?" I thought to myself, I just drove 1,000+ miles to a Trump rally to go instead to the Capitol. That didn't make sense. After the rally was over, everyone started walking to the Capitol. It felt good, very emotional. Everyone chanting different patriotic songs and slogans or phrases, but there were always people pushing and inciting the crowd. At the moment, I thought, wow, what a patriotic people. When we got to the west lawn of the United States Capitol, we just walk into the grass. There was no barrier, guard, or police to tell no one not to. People were chanting the national anthem, praying and praising the USA.
But deliver us from this evil! Yours is the kingdom and the glory.
Then, the pushing and inciting got stronger. A guy with brown chino pants and a black t-shirt who basically walked with the crowd from the rally to the Capitol, chanting, "Stop the Steal," and other similar slogans, now had climbed to the top of the tower with a megaphone, calling to push forward, come forward, we need help, he said.
USA! USA!
Some others with megaphones appeared and started pushing the crowd. Others just put the metal barriers from the top of the wall to the lawn so people could climb and move forward.
Black aluminum fence and rip that fucker down. That's where they can cross somebody's door. Come forward! Come forward! Oh, they're going in right there. Come forward!
I even remember one guy coming from confronting the Capitol guards with his red eyes from the tear gas, complaining that we were all pussies and were not willing to fight for our country. At this point, it was clear they were together. Almost all of them had some kind of gear, helmets, backpacks, and they took turns on the megaphones and helping people climb the wall. The guards even shot pepper balls at the crowd that was just standing there with no intentions to move forward. that point, the guards stood down and started letting everyone in. I never had the intention to go into the Capitol, but I understand those who did. I feel sorry for them, letting themselves get jerked up on emotions. A very important thing, and I want to make a big emphasis on this, is that when I was heading back to my car to come back home, I passed next to one of the guys with the megaphone. He was gathered with some of the others that took turns with the megaphone. His backpack was opened and had dropped some paper. I picked it up to give it to him and heard one of them tell the others, "Gather the tip of the spear. We are done here." At the moment did not mean nothing to me, but when I gave him the piece of paper and thanked him for his patriotism, he looked at me as if I was a piece of shit. That for me was very awkward. Guess just me being naive. Sorry if my story does not conform to the mainstream narrative, but it is my experience. I have not shared this story before because I have lived the past 4 years thinking, when is the day I get that knock on my door? I hope people start searching for answers and questioning the so-called truth that the establishment wants you to believe. To make it easier for you, according to Google, the basis of science is the scientific method, a process of observation, hypothesis, and testing to understand the natural world. It relies on gathering evidence, applying logic, and making reproducible experiments or observations to form and test tentative explanations called hypotheses. These hypotheses, if repeatedly confirmed, can lead to well-tested theories that explain phenomena. So, please apply science to your common sense and start formulating logical explanations to the alternative mainstream narrative. Thanks for watching.